Y'all click this video for a reason, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Um, Traumatika. I regret watching this movie, but not in the way that you think. This is like 50-50 with me. I don't know how to feel about this film. Maybe if I just breathe out my opinions about it and my thoughts, my traumatic experiences watching this movie with my wife, maybe I can give y'all a synopsis of how I really have my intakes on it. Traumatica is a 2025 American horror film that has been, who the hell is the director? It's been directed by Pierre Sagardis. A young boy's night terrors become real when his mother begins to show signs of demonic possession. What he is about to experience will not haunt him for the rest of his life, but those around him across generations. What the fuck did I get myself into watching this movie? Now, I found out about this movie in social media platforms. And I think that's how everybody else found out about Traumatica. And I thought it would be a good movie to watch. I mean, we're in the Halloween season. And I think that's the reason why a lot of people watch this movie. Because we're literally at the decking season of the bat, of the trick-or-treaters. You know, of the little 4chan fuckers running around egging your house. But anyway, a lot of people watched it. And I can see where the mixtures of criticism came from. Like a lot of controversial people reviewed the movie. Some people loved it, some people hated it. But it depends on what you're coming into a horror movie to watch. I feel like a movie like Traumatica is anything but a horror movie. That's just how I feel about it. It can come to horror when it comes to scares, terrifying like imagery of demonic possession, and above all just a payoff of just you like having nightmares at night. That was my expectation watching this movie. I failed. But if you're coming into this movie to watch it to get grossed out, incest, and just, you know, just losing your appetite or whatever, hey, movie of the year, you know, A+. But if you're not if I don't even know how to even, I can't even focus on coherent thoughts right now. But all I'm gonna say is this: this movie was a hellish ride, that I regret experiencing. The movie picks up at an extremely fair pace. The movie starts off where they show like certain clips of just like, you know, how the like you know, like how the demonic entity end up reaching the Americans, and how this kid is being tormented by his mother. So it was kind of like giving like some Exorcist vibes of just how the first Exorcist movie started, where they just show like a certain location, not to spoil it, but just to show like a certain location, just to give you the idea, synopsis of how things are all going to fall in play. But what the movie ended up failing, in my opinion, was the fact that this movie is very badly mixed of putting the pieces together. I mean, they show this scene strongly where this kid is in this house with his mom, and he's literally getting tormented the fuck out of. And I think that was a major strength of this film, was that part, the beginning part, where the mom is just tormenting him and she keeps looking for the kid. And when the police shows up, she tries to hide her demonic side, even though there's a lot of fucked up shit in her face. And we get that build up tension. We even get like some first person visual aspects of, you know, a couple of characters witnessing the horror activity in front of their eyes. And I thought that was very good, like very, you know, like very horror game-ish. You know what I'm saying? But they shot their load too quickly. I feel like after that point, when they were showing more scenes, And when it was show like more parts of the movie, after that part in the house, the horror element was gone. After that point, it was not even a horror movie. I was just watching something else. And I feel like that's where a lot of the controversial critics was coming into, because they, including myself, was expecting the whole movie to be based on that activity. I mean, they show more of that in the trailer than anything else, because they know Pierre knew that that was the strongest point in this film. Problem was, that wasn't strong enough to hold the whole package. And honestly, even that wasn't scary in my opinion. Even that part in the house wasn't scary. Like, it had some good tension, but not good build up. It had some scares, but not traumatizing scares. It has some good demonic activity, but not to the point where you really felt as if it really paid off, where you already seen horror films that had demonic activity that been there and done that. I mean, I have rated bad horror films that everybody hated. I loved The Devil Inside. I loved that movie. It ended terribly, but the demonic activity and everything else was great, was good. And that's really a lot of people didn't like it, because you had a strong build up, but it ended abruptly. I'm saying that to say this: Traumatika is worse. The Devil Inside, the whole movie had that build up. Traumatika, after 15 to 20 minutes, the rest of the film is nothing else. The film being badly mixed, they wanted to show scenes of just how everything get fallen in play. They show scenes of just how the mother get possessed, the son and everybody else. But the thing is, like, by the movie having like cuts and mixtures of just showing a certain scene and then being focused on that scene while this scene is not answered, and then when everything gets paid off, is not to the point where it delivers 100%. You lose touch. You begin to lose contact, and above all, you begin to lose relatability to these characters. Even though this movie has very strong dialogue of how these characters is being traumatically influenced in this project. I mean, this movie has incest, it has rape, it has a lot of fucked up activity with this film. So the movie does have some strong elements of horror. Problem is, it wasn't successful. And let's talk about the elements of horror. No scares is going to make you feel as if this movie is a scary film. No horror elements make you feel like this movie is in the relatability of horror to begin with. And above all, no demonic activity to the point where you feel like this movie is in a demonic tone of you looking at this movie in any demonic shape or form. I'm sorry for bashing this film this much, but I have spent money on this goddamn film. I was going to have my wife review this movie with me, but y'all got to deal with me for right now. And then at this point, they was focused on everything else with the gross factors, throw up scenes, foot fetish scenes, incest or whatever. There was a lot of scenes, man, that really made me turn my head and made me be gross to the screen or whatever. And there was even a scene where this lady, like one of the girls on a movie or whatever, she was just crying and there was just snot going all down her nose and inside her mouth and stuff like that. I literally had to look at my wife and I told her, look, can we just take a break? Like, can we just take a break? I wasn't enjoying the film by doing it. No. This is not what I came here for. I wish y'all could have focused that much tension on the horror instead of just being grossed out. What, y'all watch Jackass before y'all was end up directing and producing this movie? I didn't even tell y'all the worst part. Y'all thought me bashing on the film. That's one thing about me ranting. When I rant about things, people think that that's the worst part. No, I didn't tell y'all the worst part. The worst part is about how the fucking movie ended. So, even if people are going to defend this movie and say that, oh, well, the character development was great, the story was good, how are you going to explain the ending then? What was the point of all that if it would just end the way it did? Hey, look, For you fuckers, I dare y'all to comment on my damn shit. It said the, like the characters was was worth the movie. How? Pierre didn't think it would. I saw on Reddit that somebody said that this was the worst movie ever. And normally when people say that, I think that that's like under the rockish. Like you haven't seen bad movies. You haven't seen bad horror movies. But I can agree. I have reviewed bad horror movies. I think my worst horror film I've ever reviewed was Last Shift. But even that has some tension. And it's crazy. Because when you review movies or projects and you thought you have seen and you witnessed a lot of crazy shit in your life, here comes another one to take that damn torch. And again, I don't know how to feel about this film. And that's crazy because it was enjoyable in certain aspects when it comes to the visuality. That's the other thing too. It's the visuality of the scenery of this film. The choreography is what I liked about it the most. Overall, this movie was a waste of it was a waste. I can't even compare it to what was worse than this, but I will say this though. If y'all aching to watch a horror, a Halloween horror movie, I just reviewed A Strange Harvest. I gave that the highest rating. Watch that. That will wipe Traumatika out of your mind clean. Watch A Strange Harvest. I beg y'all to watch that movie. This movie, it's been a while since I trashed on shit like this. And it's been a while since I gave something like this type of rating. I'm gonna have to give Traumatika a D-. Only thing that saved it was literally what I said. You want a horror film, you're gonna get it here, but not in the way that you expect. We're having an early release, huh? Shit. Okay. Anyway, that's all I have to say for today. Please stay tuned to my upcoming reviews and videos headed your way. This is Hugo, your critic teacher, and I hope you all have a good day.